Championship. We are December 29th, which means, of course, I have been looking for some transfers to complete. And I think we've got a couple of good signings who could potentially be joining the club. The first of which is Sergio Gomez from Borussia Dortmund. Now his contract's running out, and I've had to offer him an absolutely massive deal. But I've got him to the point where I think he's going to accept our offer and he will join us in the summer. Unfortunately, we can't sign him now. He is on loan at Fortuna Dusseldorf, so he won't be joining us immediately, but he will be coming in the summer and being our main man in attacking midfield. I think he looks pretty special, to be quite honest with you. And then we've also made an offer for Matthias Jakobsen. We do have Max Power leaving the club this transfer window for £1 million, so being able to sign this boy to come in and play as maybe back up to Ballymumba in the centre of midfield is what I'm thinking. And to be honest with you, if we compare him to Ballymumba, he's probably better. And at 17 years old, I'm very, very excited about bringing this lad in. Hopefully we can get him. He does have numerous interested clubs coming in, so once we do manage to agree a deal with Copenhagen, then maybe it might trigger some of these bigger sides to come in. But I plan on offering him a good contract to bring him in now and look to develop him for the rest of the last 6 months of this year. But as you can see, in terms of the outs, Max Power leaving to join Nashville for £1 million. Benjamin Kimpayoko is joining that team in Sweden. Decent prospect at the beginning of the game, but he hasn't really developed that much, so more than happy to leave him go for 150k or so. If we do end up signing Matthias Jakobsen, that still leaves us with probably around £3 million to spend. And there's Sergio Gomez contract confirmed. 40 grand per week we will be paying him. He'll have a minimum fee release clause of 32.5 million, which I didn't really want, but unfortunately we're going to have to give him it just to get him into the club. Hello Comedy Gamer, thanks for joining me. I've just been saying we've got this guy confirmed coming in the summer. Wonder kid from Borussia Dortmund. I could not be happier with that signing. On a free transfer as well, which is just phenomenal. And if we can sign that 17-year-old Dane, our squad is looking pretty strong for the final run-in. I wouldn't mind signing Oliver Batista Mayo on a permanent deal either. He's been absolutely unbelievable on that left wing. Perhaps unfortunately, Bayern Munich do want some decent money for him, which is understandable. 3.5, say they're wanting 11.5 million quid for him. I think he might need to be an option we revisit in the summer. Should he return to Bayern Munich, and see maybe they might transfer list him, maybe they might not. So yeah, in terms of today's episode, we are going to play through the January transfer window. We've got a good bit of money to spend, not anything too huge. And obviously with our position in the league table, we don't need to make amazing signings really. I've completely cocked that up. I'll have to go back in for Matthias once I can make him an offer without the percentage of next transfer revenue. So we will remove that from negotiation. We will chuck this in. I'm more than happy to give these £2 million for him, like. So they're wanting 3.1. We'll up this to 1.9, 2.5. So we're probably going to end up playing around £2.2 million for him, which is an absolutely fantastic deal by my opinion. So we'll make that offer and hope that none of the big boys come in and steal him from us, because that would be an absolute disaster. But there's the league table in case you have forgotten. We are still top, only 1 point clear from Newcastle United, but we are now 13 points clear from West Brom in third, which is absolutely crazy. think this stream is maybe struggling a little bit. You'll have to let me know if I am stuttering. I have tried something different today. Tried to lower the latency so I could see the comments a little bit sooner, but looks like it might be completely messing up my stream, which is a little bit disappointing. Something we'll have to keep an eye on over the course of the next couple of hours. But our first game today is Sheffield Wednesday at home in the FA Cup third round. We almost made it to the quarters last season as a League One club, so I am hoping that we can do some damage this season as well with a far better side. West Ham's going to be our first league game. They had a disappointing campaign after getting relegated from the Premier League. I think they're currently sitting in 6th, so just about in the playoffs, but they're not competing at the top end, which they really, really should be. You would imagine their players are more than capable of playing Championship football, and they would have been one of the teams with one of the highest budgets in the division to make improvements. So there's Ajax coming in for Matthias Jakobsen. I will be offering him first team football, so I'm hoping these other sides, I'm hoping they're not giving him that option. I'm hoping they're putting him down as a hot prospect. Cheers, Comedy Gamer. I'll keep an eye on it over the course of the stream. I'm hoping it's a bit better because it allows me to see the comments far quicker than I would usually. Don't need to make any changes to our squad registration right now. In terms of other positions for this transfer window, there's not really many options. Alright, here we are. Here's the contract. So we want a fringe player. We don't want that. We don't want that. I am going to offer you an impact. Actually, I'm going to offer him a squad player status straight away, because I really want this boy in my first team squad. I'm going to remove that minimum fee release clause and the increase in wages after league games, because I am planning on giving him a lot of first team football. So 2.4k per week, I am upping that to 7.5. I'm upping his signing on fee, his appearance fee. I really want this lad. I don't know if you can tell. Top division promotion wage rise, you can have that. So very acceptable offer. There we are. We have agreed the deal with Matthias Jakobsen. He will be coming in. He's good backup for centre-back, defensive midfield and central midfield, but I will be training him as a central midfielder. He will be playing back up to Ballymumba, if not overtaken Ballymumba. In terms of his specific training, what do I really want him to improve upon? His attacking movement, maybe. So looking at that off-the-ball decisions and anticipation to try and increase those attributes. And in terms of a player trait, he's got good passing, decent vision. So maybe we want him to try some killer through balls, maybe. Okay, what do you think, coach? Courage to exert more than a pitch to dictate the tempo. I think that sounds quite good. So in terms of his training, we'll be training him as a central attacking midfielder. We'll be training him to improve his attacking movement, and we'll also try to get the player trait of him dictating the tempo, which I think all suits him down to the ground. So him and Ballymumba will be our rotation options now in central midfield. Probably leaves less room in the squad for the likes of Andre Anderson, who would usually be playing back up as central midfield if he wasn't starting in the attacking midfield role, but he is a lone player, so I'm not too concerned about his development right now. We do have this young lad, Benjamin Clark, who I'm considering maybe bringing to the first team squad. Bum train as a central defender. Defensive positioning. Mark and position and decisions. He's already got pretty good decisions. His marking isn't great. He's got decent enough passing for a 17-year-old. I do want him to be a bit faster. His acceleration isn't great, so we'll look to get him working on that. Again, working on a new player trait as well. Try to get him improving. He is someone who I'm highly anticipating making the first team squad at some point during this year. He is absolutely flying up. So Sheffield Wednesday, we're going to play pretty much a full strength squad, as much as we can anyway. I am going to give the start to Jakobsen in central midfield. Let him make his debut. We'll put Marcinski on for Andre Anderson in the attacking midfield role. Denver Hume is currently injured, as well as Jose Gomes returning from injury. I'll put Denver Hume on the bench, maybe look to bring him on for the final half hour to save Jose Gomes from potentially picking up an injury. Everything else seems pretty okay to me. We will get into the game and give a squad number to Jakobsen. And I'm hoping for a good win today. First game, we need to start off on a positive note. They're coming at us with a counter-attack on 4-2-1-3. Have we played Sheffield Wednesday in the league? I don't think we have. They might have been either relegated or promoted. I'm assuming relegated. I will just quickly check that for my own curiosity. They are sitting mid-table in the championship, so it's not going to be an easy game, but it should be a game where we can exert our dominance. And we have our first highlight of the game. Batista Maya has been special from free kicks this year. Not quite on target that time. Corner now. Batista Maya is the man to take it. It comes to the front post and it just about manages to get clear by Wednesday. Thankfully, we win the ball and avoid the counter-attack as Maya picks it up again on this left-hand side. Esposito, he's offside. Never mind. Would have been a great start 9 minutes in. We will see that again. Batista Maya, he's an absolute... he's a country mile off. "15 minutes gone. I'm relatively pleased with how this game's going. We're not really creating too many chances. So we will drop back from an attacking team mentality to a more positive one. Try and retain possession, slow the tempo down a little bit. Ball's played out to Dobson on the edge. He's shooting, he is. And that is a hell of a finish by our defensive midfielder. His second goal of the season. Marcinski is the man accredited with the assist. And it all comes from a simple throw on the left-hand side. And acres of space on the edge here. Sheffield Wednesday is sitting incredibly deep. And he gives them all the time in the world to pick his spot. Come on, boys. Another goal before half-time. Settle the nerves. As we can see, Jose Gomes on his return from injury is not... I am a little bit nervous about him getting injured because he's been fantastic for us this season and we did miss him whilst he was out injured. We have ourselves one more highlight before the end of the first half. We are playing it about in the back of the end, not pressing. They're not pressing very high, Sheffield Wednesday. So we should theoretically have plenty of time on the ball. And Jakobsen with a lovely through ball at Esposito. While Smith saves for Wednesday. Batista Maya with a corner. We've scored plenty of goals from corners this season. Not this time. Now we have it. Sunderland 1, Sheffield United 0. I'm relatively pleased with how things are going without being ecstatic. The offside goal was a little bit disappointing. They haven't really... Oh, now they've changed. They're no longer on the counter. They are now playing a more balanced game. We will look to get Denver Hume on for Jose Gomes. He was just dipping below 70%, which is usually my trigger point for wanting to make a sub pretty quickly. We are going to go back to balanced here as well. Second half, absolutely dull. Jack Clark can come off for Lyndon Gooch. Batista Maya can come off for Antonin. We'll look to give him some game time. 10 minutes to go. Is anything happening? Is this second half just going to be the worst one we've ever seen? They've went very attacking. But that's it. Jakobsen having a fantastic game in the centre of midfield. And there we have it. The worst second half you will ever see on Football Manager. But we got the win. And that is all that matters. George Dobson is given man of the match for his goal. Let's see how he's improved loads this season. He is currently wanted. 2 Premier League sides, Crystal Palace and Watford. Not something actually I don't need the rest of them. Not something I'm interested in, that's selling George Dobson. I think he might even be able to do a job in the Premier League. We probably could sign better if we wanted to, but he's English, he's young, he's pretty much reached his potential now, but I would like to keep him in the first team squad for as long as possible. We'll have to keep an eye on the other results in the league. See if... it looks like ourselves and Newcastle United are running away with it. But we'll just need to keep an eye on Sheffield United and West Brom. And West Ham. I'm not so concerned about Derby. But see if they might start pulling runs together to get themselves back into contention for automatic promotion. Which at this point, I think we've got to be aiming for that now. Playoffs is not good enough. But West Ham away from home next is going to be incredibly tough. We will need a huge performance from the boys in this one if we are to get a win. Madzara, a high potential youngster. He's getting plenty of game time in League 2. He's not really progressing though in terms of his attributes. If we do end up loaning him back out next season, I will probably look to get him into League 1. Maybe with a club with really good training and youth facilities. In terms of other signings I've been thinking about, Patrick Roberts is one. His contract is running out at the end of the season. Obviously, we can't make an approach until his contract's a month out rather than 6 months if he was European, which is, I think, is an absolutely stupid rule for English clubs. It does stop some poaching, but it also means that European clubs have first dibs on all of our young talent. When the contracts are running out anyway. Curtis Jones, we've been interested in him as well. Sheffield United going in with a £26 million bid. That pretty much rules us out of that signing. We do have our one of our scouts has just been poached by West Brom, so we do, or was it Watford? We do have a spot available for a scout, so we will look to get one in. As you can see, we have £4 million and £100,000 available in the wage budget, so we could still make moves happen if we needed to. I just don't know where. So I'm relatively pleased with it. Pretty much everyone we've got so far. That's absolutely dreadful. Scout. That's white. When I am picking up a scout, I'm only really looking at their judge and play potential. I'm not that interested in how good they are in terms of judge and player ability. Signing this lad, he's got good Brazilian knowledge, which is going to be a key demographic for us once we get promoted to the Premier League, searching the Brazilian league. So I'm more than happy to try and pick him up. Give him a 4-year deal on 2k per week. And there's one of our South American coaches sorted for next season. Jack Clark picking up the flu there. Do not let your physios or your doctor treat him. Send him home. You do not want that virus spreading to the rest of your team, which is topical right now. Be interesting to see what sort of transfers West Ham made in the summer. Who they sold. I would imagine the likes of Felipe Anderson would have been sold. We did see, I'm sure, Declan Rice got bought by one of the big boys, maybe Manchester United. West Ham's one of the sides who, on Yo-Yo Man, I'm secretly hoping they get relegated at some point and we can pick them up. So they spent 22. Petagna's a good signing. Cataldi's decent. Nathaniel Klein on a free. Harry Wilson on loan. They made some good signings. They did sell Declan Rice Albion Ajeti, who we had at Huddersfield as well. Still got Felipe Anderson. We've still got Jack Wilshere. Masuaku, who's a decent left back on this game. Cardoso, who's a good centre back. Issa Diop. They should be winning this league pretty easily. £2.5 million now for Benjamin Clark. Absolutely not. I do not want to let him go. I am going to move him to the under-23 squad. He's more than good enough to be able to play in that league. Or against that calibre of player. I was going to make an offer for this lad. He was available on a free transfer. I just think at 23, not that we can do better, it's just, does he oust Ballymumba and George Dobson in our squad? Now, he's a better player than both of them players. But I don't want to see them go just to sign some random German from nowhere. So he has decided to go on Borussia Dortmund instead. They'll only be signing him as a squad player though. And there's our new scout coming in. We will look to get him on assignment straight away. I'm not sure who we've got covered now. So we've got Eastern Europe, Scandinavia, South Europe, Europe. And then... oh no, we haven't. Got South America as a continent. So maybe... what have we not got? Eastern Scandinavia. Oh, we haven't got... what have we not got? We're missing one of the regions in Europe. Did we have Central Europe? No. So Central Europe is where we need our new scout to go. Generally, every single season I do change these assignments depending on what the scout knows and what their best region will be to scout. So we're currently setting them at, I want under 21 year olds, they need to be 2.5, 4.5 star. And they will find me any in Central Europe. Send them on an intensive language course as well so he can speak English. And then we move to the game against West Ham. So, what's our assistant suggesting? I want Josh Scowen on the bench. I want Jakobsen on the bench as well. I'm starting Lyndon Gooch over Anton in on that right hand side. Lyndon Gooch has done okay this season. Armenia can come out for Hancha Olsen, who's done pretty well after getting back in at the squad. There was about 5 or 6 games where he was out of the squad entirely and Armenia was the main man, but Armenia got injured and Hancha Olsen's done well, so I don't want to rock the boat too much. Now this West Ham side should be beating us. Easy. I mean, look at the state of it. It's basically their Premier League squad minus Declan Rice. So it'll be interesting to see how we do perform against these boys. They are of course playing on a positive mentality on the front foot, as they should be. Corner for us early on though, but Batista Maya plays a back post. Come on, spread that ball on the side again. Good pass, he gets past his man. Plays it back to Dobson. Oh, I'm starting Andre Anderson. Forgot to take him out from Marczynski. Lyndon Gooch on the right to Ivan Lopez. It looks like they're pressing pretty well. Got a feel I'm going to lose the ball here. Yep, I knew it. Felipe Anderson pinches the ball off Dobson. Yarmolenko hits the bar. Do we want to be attacking against these boys is the question. We'll see how this highlight plays out. If we go 1-0 up, it makes our job a little bit easier. Andre Anderson plays it out to Ivan on the right hand side. Gets past his man eventually. Esposito, Ballymumba. Fabianski with a save. We will drop back to positive. We don't want to get caught out on the counter attack as we just did there with Felipe Anderson. Lyndon Gooch now down the right hand side. He's got the overlap. God, that was such a daft pass. And Felipe Anderson's got the pace to burst past our defence. Thankfully, he hasn't got the finishing. Now he's got a free kick. Oh, O'Hara with a good save.